Our journey takes us back to the tumultuous times of World War II, a time of global strife and conflict when the world was on the brink of monumental change. The origins of this conflict are deeply rooted in the aftermath of the Great War, World War I, with the Treaty of Versailles planting seeds of resentment that would eventually grow into the Second Global Conflict. As the 1930s rolled around, the world stage was set with major powers each playing their part. On one side, we had the Allies, Britain, France, and later the United States and the Soviet Union. On the other side, the Axis powers, Germany, Italy, and Japan. These alliances were not just about shared military might, but also ideological similarities and mutual objectives. Germany, under the rule of Adolf Hitler and his Nazi regime, was the spark that ignited the war. Fueled by a dangerous mix of nationalism, militarism, and racial purity ideologies, Hitler defied the Treaty of Versailles, rearming Germany and annexing Austria and the Sudetenland of Czechoslovakia. These aggressive actions were initially met with appeasement from Britain and France, but when Poland was invaded in September of 1939, they could no longer turn a blind eye. World War II had begun. The war was a theater of unprecedented destruction and loss of life. It was not just a military conflict, but a war of ideologies and economies. It was a struggle for control of resources and territories, for the fate of nations, and the very conception of human rights and freedom. It was a war that would redefine the world order and shape the geopolitical landscape for the rest of the 20th century. In this vast tableau of conflict and chaos, there were places that bore the brunt of the war's devastation. Cities reduced to rubble, landscapes scarred by battle. But there were also places that stood firm, that defied the odds and became symbols of resistance. One such place was a fortress, nestled in the heart of Germany. Among the chaos and destruction, there was a place that stood out as a beacon of resistance and audacity, Colditz Castle. Colditz Castle, a medieval fortress turned POW camp, held a unique place in the war. Nestled in the town of Colditz in eastern Germany, this castle, with its towering walls and imposing facade, carries a history as formidable as its structure. It was built in the 12th century as a hunting lodge for the noble, gradually evolving into an asylum, a workhouse, and finally, a castle. The architectural significance of Colditz Castle cannot be overstated. Its thick stone walls, sturdy towers, and intricate network of tunnels and chambers bear testament to the ingenuity of medieval architecture. Its location, perched high on a rocky outcrop overlooking the town, added to its impregnability, making it an ideal choice for a high-security prisoner of war camp. As World War II raged on, the German High Command transformed Colditz Castle into Oflag 4C, a prison designed to hold the most stubborn and escape-prone Allied officers. Officers who had attempted to break out from other camps were transferred here, to the castle that was touted as escape-proof. With its high walls, secure cells, and constant surveillance, Colditz Castle was more than just a prison. It was a challenge. It was a symbol of the seemingly unbreakable grip of the Third Reich, a stark reminder of the power they held. Yet it also served as a beacon of hope for those imprisoned within its walls. For these men, Colditz was not just a prison, but a puzzle to be solved, a fortress to be defeated. The castle's grim reputation only spurred these men on. The more secure the castle seemed, the more determined they became to break free. They saw not just the imposing walls and guarded towers, but the cracks in the facade, the weak spots in the seemingly invincible fortress. Indeed, the castle's reputation as unbreakable only fueled the will of these audacious men. They were not deterred by the fortress's daunting appearance or grim history. Instead, they saw it as a challenge to overcome, a testament to their resilience and ingenuity. The castle, believed to be unbreakable, became a challenge for the most audacious. Colditz Castle housed some of the most notorious prisoners of the war. This grand fortress, with its looming towers and impenetrable walls, became a home away from home for officers from various Allied nations. British, French, Polish, Dutch, and even a smattering of Belgian and Norwegian soldiers found themselves confined within its cold stone walls. Each prisoner had a story to tell. Some had been captured in the heat of battle, others during daring missions behind enemy lines. But all were united by a common experience: the harsh reality of life as a prisoner of war in Colditz Castle. Among the many who called this castle their temporary home, a few names stand out. British officer Pat Reed, for instance, was a prisoner at Colditz after being captured in 1940 during the Battle of Dunkirk. His tenacity and resolve would later inspire numerous escape attempts. Then there was the French Lieutenant Boulet, a man of remarkable courage and wit. Despite being one of the earliest prisoners, he never lost hope and was always plotting his escape, keeping the spirits of his fellow inmates high with his infectious optimism. And we cannot forget the Dutch officer, Lieutenant Damian Joan van Doornink. His daring and audacious plans were the stuff of legend within the castle walls. He was involved in one of the most famous escape attempts, which we will discuss in the next scene. The prisoners of Colditz Castle were not just ordinary soldiers. They were pilots, seamen, and infantry officers, all with their unique tales of heroism and resilience. They were men of diverse nationalities and backgrounds, brought together by the shared experience of captivity. But these prisoners weren't content to sit out the war in captivity. They had plans of their own. Despite its reputation as an escape-proof fortress, Colditz Castle saw numerous escape attempts. The sheer audacity and resourcefulness of the prisoners held within Colditz Castle's formidable walls were nothing short of extraordinary. Their relentless pursuit of freedom led to some of the most daring and in some cases successful escape attempts of World War II. Take, for instance, the ingenious plan hatched by British officer Airey Neave. He and a companion disguised themselves as German officers using stolen uniforms and forged documents. They walked straight out of the main gate, saluting the unsuspecting guards as they strolled to freedom. Neave later became the first British officer to make a home run, successfully returning to Britain. Then there was the audacious tea-chest escape. 3 prisoners, concealed in wooden boxes, were loaded onto a truck bound for Leipzig. Unfortunately, their plan was foiled when the truck broke down and the escapees were discovered. However, not all attempts were as successful. One such ill-fated escape involved a makeshift glider, built in secret in the castle attic with the intent to launch from the rooftop. The war ended before the plan could be put into action, but the audacity of the scheme remains a testament to the prisoners' determination. And who could forget the famous ghost escape? Here, a group of prisoners dug a tunnel so narrow that they had to wriggle through it like snakes. The tunnel led them to a dry moat outside the castle walls where they could slip away under the cover of darkness. Unfortunately, the escape was discovered just days before its scheduled execution. Despite the high risks, these brave men never gave up, their resolve fueled by an unquenchable thirst for freedom. They used whatever resources they could find, from stolen uniforms to wooden crates, from secret tunnels to unseen attics. No plan was too daring, no risk too great. The castle's high walls and strict guards couldn't dampen the prisoners' indomitable spirit. The story of Colditz Castle is a testament to human resilience and audacity. As we close the chapter on the tales of this unbreakable fortress, it's essential to examine the lasting legacy of Colditz Castle. Situated in the heart of Germany, this imposing structure continues to resonate with the echoes of World War II. Its history is etched into its walls, a constant reminder of the courage and tenacity of its former prisoners. The castle, once a symbol of the Third Reich's iron grip, has transformed into an emblem of resistance and determination. But the legacy of Colditz Castle extends beyond its physical structure. It has seeped into popular culture, its stories inspiring countless books, movies, and television shows. From Pat Reed's The Colditz Story, a riveting account of his own experiences as a prisoner, to the BBC's dramatic series Colditz, the castle's narrative has captivated audiences worldwide. It's a tale of endurance and audacity, of ordinary men pitted against extraordinary circumstances, and it never fails to inspire. Moreover, Colditz Castle's impact on World War II cannot be understated. It served as a melting pot of brilliant minds and daring spirits, prisoners who refused to bow down to their captors. Their escape attempts not only boosted the morale of the Allied forces, but also forced the Third Reich to divert significant resources to maintain the fortress's security. In many ways, Colditz Castle was a thorn in the side of the Nazi regime, a constant reminder of their inability to crush the human spirit. Today, Colditz Castle stands as a testament to history. It is a monument to the triumph of the human spirit over adversity, a beacon of resilience and courage in the face of oppression. The castle's legacy continues to inspire, reminding us of the indomitable spirit of those who once walked its halls. Colditz Castle, once a symbol of oppression, now stands as a testament to the triumph of the human spirit over adversity.